Introduction to Unit 6, Modules and Packages. In programming with Python, modules are often used to achieve the desired goal in an efficient manner. Learn in the videos for Unit 6 the definition of the term modules in this context, as well as the necessary considerations for their creation and usage. Additionally, an overview of available free modules will be given. The first video shows the concept of using modules in Python. In particular, when using modules, namespaces become an important issue. This will be presented in the second video. For documentation purposes, comments and docstrings are used to describe both the program code and the purpose and usage of program components. The third video will introduce these topics. In the fourth video, some popular packages for data science are shown. Modules and packages. In programming, it is useful to reuse available programming solutions for repeatedly appearing tasks. In Python, this can be achieved by the help of modules. Modules are basically code stored in files and have typically the structure of functions and classes in programming languages Python or C. After creating or having such a module file, it can be imported via the import statement into the code where it is supposed to be used. Packages are the next step and combine multiple modules within a folder. Also, packages can be imported and be used very similar to modules. To the right of this slide, you see the definition of a simple module called mymodule.py, and it is stored in the current directory. Note the availability of module depends on where the module file is stored. Within this module, a function called add_squares is defined. This function takes two numbers and returns the sum of the squares of the numbers. Subsequently, you see the usage of this module. In the first input cell, this module is imported via the import statement. Afterwards, the function of this module, called add_squares, is called with the two input numbers 3. It returns the expected number of 18. Namespaces. There are different ways in Python how to use modules. An option to use modules is to import the module and to refer to the functions defined in it via the dot notation. This is done from the current namespace. An example is shown to the right in input cell number 1. There, the module mymodule is imported, and afterwards the function add_squares from mymodule is used. Very similarly, it is also possible to use another name for the module during the import. This is shown in input cell number 2. There, the name m is replacing the actual name myModule, and you can use it subsequently with the new name of mm. Sometimes it is useful to import certain functions from a module, instead the whole module, or to import all functions from the module into the current namespace. This is shown, for example, in cell number 3, where the function addSquares is imported from the module only. So this module could contain other functions that are neglected. In input cell number 4, you see the option to rename also the functions that you import. There, the function addSquares is renamed to squareAdd, and subsequently the new function name is called. One has to be careful with the names of the functions and methods and also modules, as they can be overwritten. An example is given in the input cell number 5. First, from the module myModule, all the available functions are imported. As we know, the module myModule contains the function addSquares. With the first print command, the addSquares is called. Subsequently in the code, a new addSquares function is defined that does something different. In the last line of cell number 5, you see how the addSquares function again is called, but this time it delivers other results than expected. This is because the function has been updated to a new function. This could result in errors later on in the program. Documentation by comments and docstrings. The documentation within programming code is typically done by comments and docstrings. Comments in the code improve the readability, which reduces debugging and maintenance time. Docstrings help to understand what methods and functions are supposed to do and how they are supposed to be used. As shown in the input cell number 1 to the right of this slide, comments can be defined as single-line comments using the hashtag character at the beginning of the comment in line. By the usage of triple quotes, it is possible to define multi-line comments in the code. Docstrings can also be defined by using triple quotes, but this has to be done in the first line of the definition of a function, followed by the text that you want to use as docstring, and be closed by triple quotes again. An example is given in input cell number 2. Docstrings of functions can be called using the method name __doc__, as it's shown in input cell number 3.